Hello friends, welcome to another video of SlideScope. In this part, we are going to do some exploratory data analysis on IPL Indian Premier League 2008 to 2019 dataset using R language. We can get this dataset from kaggle.com, and now let's get started with R. So for running R, I have this Anaconda Navigator. In Anaconda Navigator, I have created this new environment here. In this environment, I have named this environment as R tutorial, and then I will run this environment with Jupyter Notebook. So the thing is, if you want to create such environment, so on my channel, there's a video for that. I will provide a link to that video. Using that particular tutorial, you can also create an environment, and then you can run R with Jupyter Notebook. But again, if you have R Studio installed and if you want to use R Studio for this analysis purpose, so it's up to you. You can use either R Studio, or you can use, so you can either use R Studio or you can use Jupyter Notebook for R. Now the thing is, I'm going to use Jupyter Notebook for R. The code will remain the same. So you can either use R Studio, you can use that code. Now when I simply executed that environment or initiated that environment, so it gave me this URL, and then using my Mozilla, I can open this environment, and this will open my files or folders. In my folders, I have R basics folder. So I have this R notebooks folder. In R notebooks folder, I have this IPL new folder. In IPL new folder, we have these two files, deliveries.csv and matches.csv. So I did a video using Python pandas. I did exploratory analysis using Python pandas on these two CSV files. I will show you the CSV files. You can find them on kaggle.com. So this is our matches.xlsx. In matches.xlsx, you can see we have details of various seasons. So we have season, city in which the match took place, date, team 1, which was the first team, which was the second team, who won the toss, and after winning the toss, what was the decision, whether they decided to field first or they decided to bat first, what was the result, whether it was normal, or you can see we have tie also. So there are various classification in results also, and whether the Duckworth-Lewis was applied. So if Duckworth-Lewis was applied, there will be one here. Who was the winner of this match? What was the win margin? What was the win margin by wicket? Then who was the player of the match? So we can find things like who won most number of man of the match awards. What was the win by runs, wicket, player of the match? What was the venue? Umpire, umpire 2, umpire 3. So we have various such details. Now this is the first file. We have two such files. So in this file, you see you have information of all the seasons like 2017, 18. So they are not in particular order, but we have information of all the seasons. So you can see we have information of all the seasons, all the matches that happened between 2008 to 2019. Now there's one more CSV file here. This is deliveries file. In deliveries file, you can see batting team, bowling team, over number 1, ball 1, 2, 3. So we have ball by ball data. Was it a super over? Was it a wide? If it was wide, so how many runs were scored on that wide? How many runs were buys? What was leg by, no ball, penalty, and we have such various type of such informations. So now we have deliveries and matches. You can get the data set from Kaggle. I'm mentioning it again. You can type, click new here, and here You can see whether I can open Python 3 notebook or I can open R notebook. If you want to use Jupyter notebook, because I think the interface of Jupyter notebook is better. I am more familiar with it. When you will use a Jupyter notebook with R, so you will see R logo here, and in case of Python you will see Python logo here. Now it is getting loaded, and I will rename it to IPL EDA using R. Now the first thing we always do, we have to load or we have to read the CSV files or read the files basically. And since our files are CSV, so we can use the read CSV method of R to read these notebooks or read these files. So here is our first line of code. We have match is equal to read.csv. This is used in R to assign these values. So we are creating a data frame here. This match will be our data frame here, and in this data frame the matches.csv values will be loaded. We are using string as factors as false because it indicates whether a string in data frame should be treated as factor variables or just plain strings. So we just want them to be plain strings. So this way our first file will be read and will be stored in match, and then we can also write deliveries, and here we can write deliveries.csv. So this is the basic method. This read.csv method is used to read CSV files. Most of the data sets that we get are in CSV, and if they are in Excel, so you can use read.table also. I have demonstrated that in previous videos, and in this case we have CSV files, so we are simply using read.csv method. Now our two data frames will be created here, and the next thing is we are going to load a package also. This package is tidyverse. So this is an important package. The tidyverse collects some of the most versatile R packages like ggplot, dplyr, tidyr, reader, per, and various other such packages. So we will load this package because it is for statistical data analysis purpose. So it is a very helpful package. So if you have to load any package in R, you just have to write library, and you have to write the name of that library or package. And whenever you have to create a data frame is a 2D structure, so it has rows and columns. So you use this read.csv method. Now execute this. Now when I have executed this, it is taking some time. You can see we have a star here. This star denotes that the library is being loaded and the data frame is being created. Now the next thing is, whenever you have to execute a block of code in Jupyter Notebook, you can press Shift plus Enter, or you can press Run also. So if you will press Run simply, this will run. So now we are getting a simple warning here, but now our data frames are created and the library is loaded. To check what values we have in data frames, for example, this is match, so we can write match and then we can run it. This will give us a data frame. So now you can see how easy is it to load data in Jupyter Notebook. You just using R, you just write this, and then that is, after executing the data frame, you can see these values. Now the thing is, in this data frame we can see season, city, date, team 1, team 2, toss winner, that what will Louis applied or not. And another thing is, here when we are executing this, and when I have written the name of these CSV files, so you have to make sure the files are in the same folder in which you are using your notebook. And this way you can easily read them. So now that's why we can print these data frames. We can also see deliveries data frame here. So write deliveries and press shift plus enter. So we can write this. We can see the data. So now we have this data. You can see there are the we have this match innings, match ID, and everything is there now. So this is the first part. We have loaded our data sets. We have created the data frames, and on these data frames we will start our exploratory analysis. Now we can see that there are too many rows here. Okay, so if you just have to analyze the data frame, how many columns are there, what are the values, to just have a look at your data frame. So there is a method which is called head. So we can use this head function in R. We can use this head function in R. So write head, and this head function takes this one argument, and that argument is the name of your data frame. And when you will run it, so you will see that we will get these rows here. So you can see we are getting some number of rows here, and by default it is giving us 6 rows, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So this is the work of head. Suppose you want to see the head of matches also, so just below here we can write head function and then match. So this will give us head of match also. This way, when we have less number of records here, so it's easy to just scroll and view what data we have here. So you can see we have team 1, team 2, toss, winner, and things like that. We can visualize this data in our Excel also. It's up to you. So now we have loaded that. Now it's time to count how many matches are there. So now we have these some tasks here, like total number of matches played so far as per the data set, and which team has won most number of matches. So here you can see we have match. In match we have information of every season, city, date, team 1, team 2, toss winner, and various details are here. And in the column winner we have information of who won that match. Now the thing is, when you have to calculate total number of matches, a very simple way to do this is, so we'll insert a cell below. So a very simple way to do this is using a function which is called count. This is the most easy way. And if you will count match, so you will get an information that you will get a value n here. So you will get a data frame. Again, the output of this is a data frame. In this data frame you can see we have n number of matches, and that is 756. So this simply means that the total number of matches that have been played as per the data set are 756. This is simply the information of how many rows are there. So if you will see this data set, this is information of matches. So you can see here, and the index that is by default visible here is this 757. So, and one value is for the column. So that's why we can say there are total of 756 matches. Now this is a simple way. Using dplyr we can use another type of operator here. So we can write match, and then we can use percentage sign, and we can use match percentage sign, we can use greater than sign and percentage, and there is a method called summarize. In this method summarize we can give name of some column. So let's say here we are getting the name of column as n. Let's say total matches is equal to, and this is actually a function also n. So this n function can be used to count total values, and if you will run this, so we have named a new column here, and in that new column we are getting these values. So this summarize is a very useful way of summarizing the data, getting various values, and there are many other functions that we can use. So you can see if you have to count, you can use n here. You can also use n distinct. You can find first, last, nth. You can find minimum, maximum, quantile. You can find mean, median, and you can do various things. So we'll analyze various data sets using R, and in while analyzing various data sets we will use these functions. Then you will understand this more, so please stick with us. You can subscribe to this channel so that you can watch whenever a new video will be posted regarding R language or related to data science. You will be notified. So now you can see we have total number of matches. Now you have to remember we can use these methods here, right? And this is simply an operator. This operator, again, this operator has a particular syntax. Let me show you one thing. Insert cell below. Now the syntax is we use this, right? We use head and we use match. So whenever we have to use a function, we write the function, and inside that function as an argument, we write the name of that particular variable, so which is our data frame. There is another way of doing this, and that is by using this operator. So we can use match, and we can write percentage, we can write greater than, we can write percentage head. This will also give us the same result. So this thing is equivalent to this thing, head match. So I am putting hashtag here. Again, I will provide you this code. I will give a URL from where you can find this code, so that you can also perform the same analysis that we are doing here. Now the next thing is we have to analyze which team has won most number of matches. So let me take this and I'll put this line down, so that I'll put this line here. I will make it as markdown. Okay. So we have to calculate which team has won most number of matches. If we will write match and then write this, and we have to get the head. So in head you can see the column which has information of winner is this column, winner. Okay, so when we have this column and we have to count data, right, which team has won most number of matches, we simply have to count data. So we'll be using the n function again, but before using the n function, we now have to group this data frame. So whenever you have to count something like this, which team has won most number of matches, or suppose in a group we have some values, and suppose in a column we have some values, and this is a classified data, right? In this data we have classification. So to do that we have to group this, and for that we have a method called group by. And in group by we have to write the name of the column we are grouping. We have classified data here, means there are certain values and that are repeating again and again. So every value is repeating n number of times here, certain number of times here, and we just have to count those values. So for that you have to group by, and then in group by you just name the column with which you have to group the data, or using which you have to group the data. If you will run now, it will give you some data frame. You can see we have these values, but again this is now the number of records are there, but this is not the perfect answer. After grouping by, again now you have to summarize it once again. You have to count it, so you have to summarize the column. So let's say we have to summarize, so we will write percent greater than percent and then summarize. So using this we can actually write first what we did. We grouped the match data frame by winner, and then after grouping that complete data frame we are kind of summarizing it. And let's say wins. Wins is the column that we are creating here. So this wins is new column in which we have in which we will have information of number of wins. And because we have to count, so as per this we have to count this, and this is n. Run this, and now you will get the information. Here in this data frame you can see we have match group by winner. So this is a new data frame. We can also store this data frame here and store this in a new variable. And in this data frame you can clearly see that Mumbai Indians has 109 wins. So it has counted this thing from the data frame. So in winner we have, suppose this is Sunrisers Hyderabad. So this particular value will be repeated here n number of times, and this is simply counting that n number of times. Okay, so this is the information here. And if you want to filter this type of result, suppose we want to see who has won most number of matches. Suppose there are many records and we specifically want to see. So for that you can apply this operator once again. And here you can use a function called filter. In filter you have to write the name of this column. So it's filter wins is equal to max wins. Let's see whether it works or not. So we have some problem. I will fix this. Okay, sorry, because we have to compare the values, so we have to write two equal to's. So now we have winner. So you can see the max wins is Mumbai Indians. Let's say who is at min wins. The minimum wins is 4. That means sometimes there will be no winner. So in that case we have blank. So this is minimum wins. So let's put it as max. So this is one example, and this is the answer which team has won most number of matches. Now suppose we have to plot a graph. So using the ggplot function we can plot a graph. We have in ggplot we have aesthetic mappings. Aesthetic mappings describe how variables in the data are mapped to visual properties which are called aesthetic of geomes. Aesthetic mappings can be set in ggplot and in individual layers. So in AES we have variables like x, y and filter. So we'll use them. Let's see how we can plot a graph now. So we have this data here, and so we have values here, and now you just have to add this much code here. You have to add ggplot, then we have AES which is aesthetics. It takes three parameters x, y and fill. In fill we write the name of that column with which we have to fill the data. X is winner, y is most win and fill is also winner. Using a plus sign we can concatenate it with a geom bar where stat is identity, coordinate flip plus scale y continuous and total matches won. So this is a way of writing the ggplot, and let's see the answer here. So we have one issue, let's see. So we have to actually just write y is equal to number of wins. Now we have this data, and this is a simple plot here. Let's see this. So in this plot you can see we have various colors, and the length of these bars represent the total number of matches they have won, and for every bar we have colors also. So you can see for Chennai Super Kings we have orange color, and for Mumbai Indians we have blue color, and blue color's value is slightly more than orange color's value. Other bars are clearly um, below this particular value. So this is a simple plot that we can create in, or a plot we can create using R language. And this, the next part of this series will be discussed with you, where we will do more exploratory data analysis, where we will try to get more values. So see you in the next part.